lawyers here. And my background is also human rights. So actually the first language, even in our courts, is supposed to be Kiswahili. And English is the other. And I always say, English is not our mouth. I'm now using vernacular. English is not our mouth. So nobody should be penalized because they struggled or they didn't get that grammar right unless they're actually being employed in a job that is about grammar. Thank you.
My name is Catherine Masoli. I'm from I hope I can do that. I'll try and shout. So my name is Catherine Masoli. I'm from Somo Africa Trust. I think it's a systemic issue. Kwa nini tunaongea English sahihi? Kwa nini hatuzungumzi kwa Kiswahili? No, so it's systemic, right? So when you come to me as an employer, yeah, and you speak in Swahili, totally fine, right? But I'll be thinking, when I need you to go for a meeting, will you be able to express yourself? When interacting with, I don't know, I like to be realistic, so forgive me if I seem too realistic, yeah? But when you're interacting in a particular panel, will you be able to express yourself to the audience at large, right? So it is systemic. Even when you look and watch parliamentary proceedings, are they done in Swahili? Yes. Most are in English. Me, as people speaking in English, maybe there's some I'm missing, maybe there's some I'm not watching, but most times I see people expressing themselves in English. So we have to recognize that there is a system that's in place that's put us in this place. And it made me think back to over 13 years ago, I was working in Rwanda. We would go for meetings, and the meeting would be held in Kinyarwanda. And they were proud of it. In fact, it was called a Gachiro. Yeah, it was pride in being a Rwandese. So that is how they functioned. But we are not like that right now, right? So, yes, I understand your concerns. But my organizations will still need to run, right? So what I will do most times when I'm recruiting is, if I'm recruiting in the coastal area, I want that person who can express themselves in Mijikenda, Swahili, ukienda English, unaweza switch kutoka moja hadi ingine, ndio communicate to wale watu wanaongelesha, unaona? So nikienda, for the programs I'm running in the Western region, I want someone ataelewa Kiluya, mwenye ataelewa Kijaluo, ana switch English, Swahili, hivyo. So because that is how the system runs, while I feel for you, and I remember how it was when I was a youth, struggling like you to get a job. Wonderful attitude. My first question was, what are you able to do? I would love to have you in my organization somewhere. Paka mtu anza kutafuta utamweka wapi? Just because the attitude is great, they seem to be able to have good interpersonal skills. That's how it works, right? And sometimes it's not totally obvious, but usually that's how it ideally should work.
Okay. Thank you for that. I think we've gotten two key points to pick from there: to attitude and, of course, to the employers. Let these people be interviewed in whichever language they're comfortable in. So just to
Thank you so much for taking us through this session of discussion. I believe that the young youths within the spaces have been able to get information on what the employers need in the job market. Sindio vijana? Imeingia hiyo? Na tumejua kuwa Kiswahili ni lugha ya taifa ambayo tunaweza itumia kwa wakati wowote ambapo tunafanya mambo yetu. Sindio? So at this moment, I would like to invite Kenneth Ouma. He is a renowned poet from Kenya, and it's one way of us appreciating talent, being that we are in a talent and opportunity summit. Karibu sana Kenneth.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Dede, thank you for having me once again. Talking about language, I'm a Shakespeare spoken word artist. So yeah, I'm a more of an activist poet. So sifanye kitu. Mafisi. So tani kugain mligomisi kama kampuni za kamisi. No pain, no gain, imechoka na kelele za campaign, so moment of silence. So God on my knees tuondolee mdodo. Na pia God on my knees mwambie viongozi akili zao zimejaa kutu. Viongozi walikula kiapo wakapata appetite. Immediately wakaanza kuuma mali ya umma, alafu wanatoka kijiko. Wale mwananchi anashindwa kutoka food kwa sahani. Samahani. I'm not a member of parliament, but for now I'm the speaker, so mtanisikiza tu hata kama sijawahi sikika. Niko na picho. Wacha tuogoti mimba ya corruption. I'm not a murderer, but you give me no option. Metuacha na mashida zinatumorea. Our leaders are not painters, but wametuchorea. Instead of solutions, wanaongeza tu areas. So sad. Life imekuwa truth or dare. Truth be told, siku za campaign walituambia vitu zitakuwa barabara. Saitami kukuisha, hawajajenga talamu. Sisi tuliweka kwa power, sasa wanapanga kwenye pesa zetu watakawa. Wamekuwa na vitambi tukiwa show wanajagas na wapendi pressure. So God lead us. You are leader. They failed us. So we spend most of my days for dictionary nikitafuta meaning ya life. I guess I may lose meaning to daily see end up na a lifeless, jobless. You want to know the only book but all my youth wako jobless. So wameturn to drugs na drug life zao behind, wako in pain, wameshindwa kuvumilia, daily wanalia. Wewe uone funga macho uone, meditate akili inaone. Beautiful girl down to earth, siku daily yako high, anashindana na jua kuwaka. Alikuwa na dreams za focus, but sasa ame lose focus. Your dreams zake zimekuwa shattered. Alikuwa na dreams big enough zinaweza change country, dreams zinaweza move mountain, dreams zina shine so bright zinaweza shock watu wa KPLC. So now wish him take back. Time pesa ilikuwa bubu. You say police station ni kama adwe fulani ya Njoroge, ni pesa uongea. I mean real talk kama ile ya Tamima justice ili switch ikakuwa option. Prison ikajaza watu innocent na tukena huru, amani na undugu kwa national anthem ikalose reason. So mafisa amejaza ofisadi. Mekuwa money minded, mnatuchezea kadi. Kwa traffic mnatake advantage ya jam, na juu crest ndio bread, mnakusanya za chai. Mnacheza macho na real sense ni tumbo inawasumbua. Mmekuwa sumbua. Wekeni kamera zenyu pose acha kututumia picha. Niko na fact kama preacher tuko. That's why mna to play. Police brutality, innocent souls imekuwa laid. Na si ati niko na kirehere kama admin. Vipenyezo action zenu ndo zimekuwa mimi. I mean, umeconfuse vijana na illegal structures. Nikiangalia right, left na center, ni vijana wanaangushwa. So karao, shoot to kill isikuwe trend. Ndio vijana wengi wameenda kudenda na vijana ndio leaders of tomorrow. So si cut their life short with just a gunshot. So karao, najua imekuwa nickname beast, but that should not be a reason ya kufeast on innocent souls. Ghetto ni hotspot. Vijana ndio kwa high. Na nyinyi mna maintain law and order. You're to serve and protect, same na serve na kula na mtaki to protest. Metoka kwa test of faith, tunaishi na imani. Na tutreat kama wezi na kuiba tuwezi. So karao. Nisiposema nani atasema. Naongelea innocent souls zenye mulienda life zao bila utu. Then you call that utu. Mishi kwa wote. So vijana, the leaders of tomorrow. Keep empowering them and their sun will always shine. Peace and love. Let's get it.
Thank you so much for that powerful entertainment process. Please give him one round of applause again. So one of the key things that Shofco is very intentional about is empowering young people in different areas of talent. At this moment, I would like to call the oldest crew called the Shofco.
No,
Shofco Theatre. Hawa ndio wale vijana ambao wamerepresent Kenya kwa the Europe Tour. Wameenda Asia, Germany, Spain na kokote kuitwa Uingereza kuweza kuwakilisha vijana kutoka Kenya. Thank you so much, Shofco Theatre. Please, Alan, take over.
Thank you for that performance. I've noticed that you guys don't give enough claps. Another one for the crew. Okay, let's progress on. So at this point, I want to welcome the CEO, the Shofco CEO, Dr. Kennedy Odede, to give his remarks. Karibu.
Wow. Let's clap for them again. I feel shaken. Yeah. Thank you so much everyone for coming. I'm really happy. My name is Kennedy Odede. And today's event has been amazing. And I want to say, first of all, to my friend in the room, we have the presence of the Principal Secretary, my brother, Fikiri Jacobs. I always admire you. This man is a PS of State Department for Youth Affairs and Cultural Economy. But I knew him. He was working at Kilifi County. And it's all about trust and character. We worked well together with him during that time. And now I'm seeing him rising. And he's a big, big partner and friend of Shofco. Let's clap for him again. My brother. Catherine Mumo Makofi. A very powerful lady. Everything to do with Shofco, you are always there, even in the Senate. So thank you so much for your support. And then, I cannot thank our partners here, employers from different sectors. Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot for us. We spoke about the language barriers. And it's powerful for you being in the room. When are you as employer will be there to listen to the youth? So, I'm sorry to say this. If you are an employer in the room, our partner, please stand up, Kwame, because stand up wherever you are. Those who give us jobs, let's clap for them. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Really, really, really means a lot to me. You know, and the youth, say hi to them when you see them. You know, when I saw someone as an employer, I used to be really scared, right? Lazima niongele kizungu yangu la hiyo kizungu sijui. So really, and then the sustainable team led by Julius. You guys done amazing work. Makofi kwao. Tired of being looked down upon. I'm being honest with you. If you go to work to look for a job, I hope it's changing now. And you say the word Kibera. Oh, my friend, you are gone. Seriously. And many of my friends didn't get a job because of the name Kibera. I'm like, wow, that's how life was. So Kibera mean what? Mkora, atakuibia, atarusha mawe. What else? What are you thinking? You had the Kibera by then? Utanua reli, wacha bwana, tufungangi reli. Oh, sawa. But we are just human beings. That's not who we are. It's only happened that we were born there. And most of my close friends are dead. I won't lie to you. Because life was tough. So my message to the youth today here is that one thing I did that I won't forget. Nilimjua Mungu. Ukimjua. And then I never gave up. I never allowed my family, my past, to determine who I am. Doesn't matter I came from a poor family. Doesn't matter I come from a slum. Nothing. I knew that I am Kennedy. And I say, God, use me to be an instrument of hope. Use me to be the light. God, use me for them to see the other side of Kibera. And I'm also here. Kibera has spoken at the United Nations headquarters. Through Kibera, we have created jobs. And through this, we are now working with employers. And they have understand that it's all about where you are born, the circumstances. But people are good. So what these youth want is jobs. And what we're doing here here today is really powerful. And they have a lot, they have opportunities. What they are lacking is they have a lot of talent, if I'm being honest with you, but less opportunity. They are talented, as you can meet them. They are talented, but they lack the opportunity. And I'm really happy that what we are doing today here is to link those two things, talent and opportunity. And we're here for that. And then when those two things come together, there is magic. Let me just show you some numbers. It really makes me so happy. So Shopco have really reached over 1.7 million youths across the country. Do you know that over 250,000 have been trained in entrepreneurship? Wow. Okay? And when I talk about the youth, there's two types of youth. The youth from the middle class, who have a little bit of connection, and then the youth who I call them the really ultra poor. These are the youths who are coming from deep villages or from the slums. They are the ones who are really touching their lives. And we also work with people, youth who I call them, who are persons with disabilities. They are so talented. We have invited over 600 of them. And then we also work with refugees. Almost 2,000 have been impacted. Makofi hapo tena jamani. So what are we learning? My message to the youth and the employers in the room. The employers, sometimes we don't listen. When you see a young person, on a PS, who will be here because of character? Who will be here if no character? What is character? Are you able to wake up early? Are you able to devote your time? Are you able to work hard? Are you able not to be tempted to steal something? Believe me, they are watching. As Helen spoke, she was sleeping that floor. Oh my God, make it nice. They were like, no, there's somebody here. We have to help this person. And that's how Helen is here today, working with insurance company. Another story I have. My mother told me this. We have Technobrain here today. Technobrain, are you here? Technobrain, they are our partners. So I got a job at Technobrain. This is a beautiful story I love to share. My job was to clean the toilets in Westland. Did it for a long time. And something will make you happy about this job. My mother told me, Kennedy, they call me Ken. Ken, wherever you do with all your heart. Whatever you do, then they have to know somebody did something special here. Who is this person? So I used to go to Chumi by then and buy the sprayer that smells good with my own money. So I clean the toilets. When I'm done, I do. Every day, the toilet was clean. And this is a message. You can be the best, but they will never appreciate you. They will never appreciate you. But don't give up. But don't give up. Even if they are not appreciating you, I felt appreciated. They add my money a little bit. And they wanted to keep me in that job. Right? But later on, when I got other kibaruas, there's a friend of mine called Benjamin who used to work there, one of the bosses, who was willing to call and write letters for me. We know Kennedy so well is hardworking. You see? So that's why young people, character is important. No matter what job you're doing, they will recommend you. Remember that. But if you are like, I don't like this job, no. There must be an entry point for everything you're doing. And I know there's a challenge for young people because In our country, there's so many shortcuts. Don't try. With shortcut, you don't go far. It looks beautiful, but you don't go far. So I'm a strong believer that if we work together, the employers, the youth, the Shofco team, we are going to change this country. And we have leaders who are here today, who are also willing to support us. Right? So, and I was asking myself again, youth, job, what do they want? I love Shofco. What they've done is amazing. They're able to talk to the youths, what they want. They did a survey on that. We did something with the Kilifi County, Mombasa County, Homa Bay County, and also in Nairobi. Imagine, tunaweza ongea kizungu mingi, pap. What do they really want? What must we do? Ndio hiyo. Improve our schools and TVET to train us for the future. Ndugu yangu fikiri na unafanya hii maneno. I know when last time we spoke when Homa Bay were together, we talked about that. How there's Nyota, you're doing amazing work. But honestly, how can a youth be skillful if the TVET center in their constituency haina machine, haina equipment? So these are asking simple things. MPs, leaders, all everywhere. Can these TVETs be functioning? Youth mko wapi? Sioni makofi. Is that true? Yes. Something else is called certify our skills. This is where I met the president. And I respect him for this. So we met and he told me about his affordable housing project. We had a good meeting. And he wanted to create jobs for the youth. But I told him, Your Excellency, you know what? Vijana wa Kibera, wa ghetto, ni mafundi. Lakini when they go for the jobs, wanapewa pesa ya mtu mkono. And he asked me, Kedi, why? I told him, because they don't have certificates. They don't have the NITA. But they have been working since their younger age. They have been working and working. That's when the idea of NITA coming together with Shofco and allow the youth who are skillful to be given certificate. You see, that's amazing. It's very important, skillful. If you want to know that, how do you know the job? How do you know? My neighbors in Kibera used to be the best mechanics. Lakini hawana karatasi. They're saying this, give a path to grow. Create clear entry level roles that lead to long-term careers. How many my youth? Again, they're saying this. Don't exclude that. Hire women. Hire refugees. Hire people with disabilities. Let us be part of the core workforce. Simple. And ya mwisho hapa ni support young mothers. Yes, there's a blockage. If a young woman who have a baby, do you know that I can't leave my baby? I can't afford to have a nanny. So how do you consider a young mother for employment? And I think Shofco, you guys are doing that, Mark. So thank you so much for that. You're making sure that the kids are taken care of as the young women are going for jobs. Lastly, wamesema kwamba the future is digital. Bring digital skills to our communities. Bona PS, I know you're doing that. So thank you so for that. So next week team, I don't have much to say, but I'm really, really proud and really happy, and I thank God. I never knew that one day we'll be at KCC. That boy in Kibera, talking to the employers, government. Dreams are valid. But what I believe is that don't give up. I see my friend Job, who is the same university, Job Ogutu, is here. You remember me from the university? I never gave up. You remember? Yes. We went to American University together with him. So we have to keep it. And then listening to understand what's really happening. Thank you so much, the team from Saria here. I want to say that God bless you all. And I hope we'll continue this journey together. God
highest, I think, to our GDP. Throughout the year, sleeping hungry. Why? Or they can't create. They have a degree, but they cannot. They are paid at 27,000 as an administrator, when may very well be the opportunity where we can actually create jobs. And as we do so, I want to speak for the rural ones. For the manufacturers who are here, I have twice organized women to plant vegetables and bring to Nairobi. The most expensive vegetable in Nairobi is Osuga and Saga. That's done in Luo land and Luya land. And Kunde and Mrenda. But when those people bring that vegetable, one, if you want to supply Chandarana, they will tell you, please go to Nairobi at ABC. So the women are being told to come and discuss how to procure in ABC. That means we are not going to take your vegetables. That means the Osuga can only be taken from Limuru, because it's only people in Limuru who can walk to ABC. So you want to supply Osuga to Carrefour, they tell you go to Two Rivers, and you are asking in Kakamega, in Kisumu. What does that mean? Constructive exclusion. And yet the best vegetables, Saga, I can tell you, come from Uyoma, come from Butere. And when they come here, you are expecting that the woman in Butere will supply Osuga at the same price as the woman in Limuru. What are you doing? You are underpaying them. Why not create a shelf to say this is Saga from Butere, and we have marked it up because of transport? That is fair trade, isn't it? This is Saga from Mchicha from Kilifi. So we mark it up a little because it has come through organic ones. You are locking out women, you are locking out people in the rural areas. And then we have the issue of logistics. These young people could actually be helping us with the logistics. They're the ones who understand tech. Shofko, please take this one up. If you organize my women, can we find a cheap phone on which so that we know the women in Butere today have 10 good years of Osuga. They can bring it to the women in Kibera and the women in Madare to actually supply them, and we can get the Boda boys to deliver those things to your homes in Muthaiga and Karen. Is that a business? So what am I saying? That within the challenges, we also have a lot of opportunity, which I'm requesting that we move on this. When it comes to training, and that would be my last point. Please imagine this, and Fikirini, I want you to, you're not from education, but you must take interest because this is about youth. 980,000 learners finished Form 4 last year. Only about 450 will be taken by TTIs, TVETs, that is National Polytechnic and technical training institutions, and only about 200,000 go to universities. Fikirini, where does the 55% go to? I want somebody to trace where those people are. If you didn't know, county governments have TVCs. TVC is the one we use to call village polytechnic. And the rest of the institutions are with national government. Now I've just told you, national government has taken 45%. You're expecting counties with village polytechnics, which are stigmatized, as he told you, no facilities, nothing, to take over the 65. Where are you expecting those young people to go? I only gave you the figure for 2025. 2024 also spilled another nearly 500,000. 2023 spilled another, and they go to cruise ships. But our Kenyan hotels will say, unless you have a diploma for 3 years, you cannot be a chef. Why do I need 3 years to be a waiter? So can industry help us to design a curriculum that does not shortchange on the skill, but to be able to say, in 6 months, the 500 we are spilling, we can give short courses that can actually give them a skill to be able to engage meaningfully either in their home or somewhere else. So as we finalize, I just want to thank you for inviting me and to ask the Kenyan youth, don't give up. Ken, I listened carefully. Your message is so profound in your poem. And it is true, as leaders, we are letting our youth down. But I want to tell you that politics is not for those who are in parliament. Politics defines whether you will have water or not. So the number one thing as the youth, find your ID, number one. Number two, please go and register as a voter. Number three, identify that leader who you think is a good leader. And then vote for those one. I told my daughters who didn't vote last time, don't come at me with your Gen Z because you did not vote. I told them. So they have promised me they are going to vote this time. So as I finalize, I just want to give you hope. I'm a mother of 5 who represent 3 interest groups: boys, girls, persons with disability. So I feel you and I hear you. Asanteni sana.
As I said earlier on, we don't clap enough. She's not even back at her seat. Well, that's a powerful speech from Senator Catherine Muma. And I think we only have 2 problems here. Now that Mwesha has spoken, we only have 2 problems. The first one is somebody like Senator, those are the brains we need in the Senate. But I have a feeling based on the Kenyan politics, she's planning to vie for something else. And what does that leave us with? Hecklers in the House. So that's the first problem right there. And I'm just like, come on, man. When are we going to get leaders who are actually articulating these issues and can actually do something substantial? But the second problem is she might decide to go for a seat that has some sort of functional superiority. But then again, in 2027, I'll just be a Luo. She'll be a Kisi. She'll be so. I don't know. Maybe we'll find a way to fix that. Maybe we'll find a way to fix that. But as we wind down on this first session, I want to, of course, welcome our next speaker, our keynote speaker for this first session of today. A man, of course, that was handpicked by somebody that I truly loved. I know as a political journalist, I'm not supposed to be biased per se, but we're human beings. We love certain characters, we love certain people. That man for me was Raila Odinga. So P.S. Fikirini is somebody that was handpicked by Baba. He's worked with Baba, and somebody that Baba has touched, we always have faith in them. So join me in giving a round of applause to P.S. Fikirini Jacobs. Karibu sana, P.S.
Thank you for extending Baba's love to me. So of the shining hope for Odede, Mom and Senator Dr. Muma, our employers present, private sector, government officials, of course, recognizing my CEO of the President's Award Kenya, Ms. Kiogora, and the young people who are present in this room. For avoidance of any doubt, my name is Fikirini Jacobs. I am privileged to serve the administration of His Excellency Dr. William Ruto in the capacity of the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, led by the Honorable Salim Mvurya. I stand here today far too long has carved a niche for themselves to be able to do. And while I stepped in a little later after the program has kicked off, I feel I'm privileged to have learnt one or two things from, in my honest assessment, qualifies to be called a high-level panel. A panel which generated a lot of reactions, out of how better we can align, the informal with the formal so that we can be able to deliver better results. I appear here also as a young person of this country who, a day or a week after my graduation, 2023, got the privilege to be appointed as the Director of the Governance Service Delivery Unit in the County Government of Kilifi, a position through which I was able now to interact with many organizations, I think in Kilifi, and among them, SHOFCO. And later, on the 17th of April 2025, that is last year, after some process, to become the youngest principal secretary ever in the history of our soil. Through the magnanimity, as has been said, of the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and His Excellency the President. So I stand here as a proud mentee of the needs to associate themselves with, bridging the employment gap through collaboration. I believe for a fact that collaboration between the government and the private sector goes a long way to be able to bridge the gap between learning and earning, especially in our current world order. And to begin with, I want to sincerely appreciate all the employer organizations present in this room, and to challenge you from the onset that to the extent that Kennedy and SHOFCO have invited me to be here, because I'm the PS. Yes, it is because someone trusted me, trusted my energy, my enthusiasm, the hope that I bring to this work instead of the many years of experience. And to begin with, I have always been a proponent of the view that the energy of the young people, once combined with the experience of our elderly, can form a ripple, which in turn become a wave that last can even bring down any mightiest wall of resistance or impunity standing on our way. That was my speech on the 10th of December 2021 at Kasarani when Baba was declaring to be president, to vie for president. So, but it's still live today, that while we say our country has the definition of being a young country, that through the lenses of a country like Kenya, Africa is largely defined as a youthful continent. It is because of many countries like ourselves, which have 75.1% to be under 35. That means if we invest our solutions in the 3/4 of our population, we can as well create a permanent platform that then can take care of any kind of challenge that may arise in the history of our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, standing here, I know for a fact that the issue of employment, not only in Kenya but in Africa, has been quite a serious issue. In fact, I sneaked in here and I'll creep out of this place to join an ongoing conference at the Glee Hotel hosted by World Bank for, I think, 43 countries across Africa. talking about the Youth for Jobs Africa, doing a community of practice where people, Gideon Mungaro, that why don't we also try to engage these organizations that transact business with our youth in this county. And you know, to my surprise, the day we gathered with all the non-state actors in the youth space, Kilifi County alone, in that short notice, attracted 200 organizations. Kilifi County is at least 70 or 80% rural. And this is a county which has the presence of more than 200 youth all the time. If all the organizations, for example, in Kilifi, where Shofco also has a route, if all go out of the way, push limits, and do what Shofco is doing, then we could as well, you know, whatever comes from the exchequer, which Mam was talking about, the 30%, would just be a top-up to what is already happening, because the organization would have gone far ahead to be able to solve some of the lifelong challenges that these communities are facing. What do I mean? I mean this, that our country has a rich presence of multinationals, of serious non-state actors who are doing a lot in the youth space. I think it is fair that I wish to appeal to these organizations to continue to partner in a serious note with our communities and government so that we can avoid duplication of effort. And secondly, we can make effective use of our resources. And thirdly, we can multiply the effect. Shofco is leading the skill and talent opportunities here. Shofco has gone ahead to sponsor a number of young people from our country to do TVET. The statistics given by Senator Dr. Muma gives about 55% of young people hanging almost every year after KCSE. If Shofco has picked their share, another organization should follow suit. And lastly, we shall sit here not to count how many young people have been left out, but we shall be here to say how much we were able to multiply the effect in the shortest time possible. And that's really something we really need to impress it upon the mind of non-state actors really in our country. Organizations, non-governmental organizations are not present to act as competitors to government. We have partnered with the Kenya School of Government to be able to develop a concept note, to be able to call for a high-level roundtable with the non-state actors in the youth space so that we can share our programs as government, we can learn from them, so that in the long run we can create a partnership that can be able to create a lasting impact in the lives of our young people. And while I say this, it's not lost on me that while Kennedy and Shofco have gone ahead and clearly you can see their kind of impact all through the Kennedy in the middle of the night and ask them what they are doing as Shofco, they will rise up to tell you that Shofco has done A, B, C, D in these counties. You know, they're partnered, like you've heard, with many county governments, and they're doing a lot. I've interacted with them in different counties. I was in Nyeri for a youth summit, and I met Brenda, representing Shofco. We were there for the pre-summit, pre-devolution youth summit in Homa Bay, and Kennedy was there. He was a colleague, a co-panelist. And a lot more, you know, places where Shofco, we've seen Shofco. Shofco is right present in Mombasa. You know, it has very serious roots in a number of our countries. So I congratulate you, Kennedy, for what you're doing. And I thought it is fair that we need to appreciate you so that while you face all manner of challenges in delivering, you know, a decent future for young people of Kenya, which is our collective responsibility, please do that while you feel appreciated by the government and to be more specific, the State Department for Youth Affairs. And back to the idea of employment and skills. I know for far too long our country has had the 844 system of education, a system which is said, and it is true, that has been responsible for giving us a number of graduates. I think at least 1.6 million graduates every year in this country, statistically speaking. But again, the same kind of education for far too long has also been one that has not created the demand that would absorb the same people who are churned into the job market every year. And that is why the need for TVET, the need for skilling becomes very urgent and persistent in our country. I know for far too long that our socialization was such that if you go to a classroom today, it must always end up with a white-collar job, where you sit somewhere like you become the PS for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. That was our socialization. But realizing that for far too long, there has been a presentation of a mismatch between expectation and reality. You know, I studied philosophy. And one of the problems of philosophy is appearance and reality. Is this table flat? It appears to be flat, but the reality is it is made up of many irregular particles that contribute to form the flatness. So that is appearance and versus reality. So hii unasikia kwa ground vitu different. So yeah, that is one of the problems of philosophy. So out here, you might have a person who has a PhD in entrepreneurship, but the way he was socialized is such that you cannot engage in any kind of entrepreneurship. You have to be employed in a certain organizations to offer advice or, you know, kind of skilling in terms of how they can be able to develop their entrepreneurship abilities. That was our socialization. So today, I'm happy that this country has more young people in the TVET institutions as opposed to the universities. It's not by any means a kind of a deliberate mismatch. It is how it should be. The graph of our education must have fewer managers and many technical people who will create the opportunities for the managers. If you have many managers, let's say 900,000 university students and 20,000 TVET students, these 900,000 university students all qualify to white-collar jobs. But where are they getting the jobs? If the people who are to create the jobs are only 20,000. And that is why this country, for the first time, has a regular graph in our education system. asks this guy from say, come say something. Is done, this guy from TVET is asking, do you have anything to say? Because, you know, it is a socialization problem that begins from our home. That a person who went to the university is taken as a master learner, is taken as the person who bears the solutions to all the challenges in that village, than a person who went, you know, to TVET to do plumbing, to do electrification, you know, a lot of things. While this young person here, who like myself graduated in philosophy, he will require the skill and expertise of this young person who went to do this certificate from a village. The community might not directly want to appreciate. That's why I want to encourage you, my dear young people, my colleagues who are here. Do not ever lose the hope that technical education is below university education. Please embrace technical education as much as you'll embrace anything meaningful in your life. The future of this world is skilling. The future of this world is skilling. I know young people from this country because as the PS for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, Youth Enterprise Funds sits as one of our agencies in our department. And it is the fund which has been sponsoring young people in the labor mobility program. And I know some data to that extent. I know young people who graduated in certificates in general agriculture in this country, and they were attached for 2 years contracts in the UK. They have done a lot. In fact, the last time I checked, one of them who comes from a place called Muihoko down here called me to ask how she could get contacts of the Bomayangu guys so that she could buy a house in affordable housing in farms in the US. You know, she has a certificate in general agriculture. It's a skill-related course. So, and one thing which has been said by one of our panelists here, and I appreciate him for what he said. When I was being vetted in the National Assembly to become PS, one of the things I was asked empowerment and employment of the young people. And I mentioned so strongly this idea of recognition of prior learning. We have many young people in our slums today, you know, who have, but they have not gone to anybody's college. They have not gone to anybody's classroom. They have never been, they have never had any admission number in any institution. But they're the best people you can have to perform a certain duty. But our socialization also as employment organizations has been that one must present a paper from a recognized institution, either locally or internationally, for them to be able to get a job. And this guy has a skill from an unrecognized institution because he went to his uncle's garage, you know, and attached himself there. After some time, he can do the best. Let me throw a simple challenge to all of us, ladies and gentlemen. Those of us here who own cars. When your car breaks down and you have to take it to a garage, once you get there, do you ask these guys to present their papers of where they went to study from? You don't. You don't. You drop your car there based on testimonies of your friends. You know, you leave the car there. It's a little social contract which has some level of trust because you'll have to trust this person for his work. Depending on what you're told by a friend, go away and wait for his call. You'll go back, pick your car, well fixed than some of the multinational companies which fix cars, you know, and you go use your car comfortably for far too long before it breaks down again, you know. This young person in the labor, in the market, either locally or internationally, has a space. But unfortunately, this person is discriminated to the extent that he did not go to any formal institution, any non-institution in the country. And that is why it is a deliberate movement that the government within the Nyota program implements the recognition of prior learning, where we want to certify, to begin with, 20,000 young people who have skills acquired informally so that they can be assessed by NITA for 1 month and get certified. I hope when they present themselves to you, now that they already have the skills, I hope when they present themselves to you with the NITA certificates, you ladies and gentlemen, good ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll be able to get them spaces in your organizations. I so believe so. And the idea that has been spoken about of soft skills, even those who went to the universities, we congratulate you, we appreciate you. But the way the world is now, please find time, get a soft skill. It pays to have a soft skill. Be that master's graduate who will be attached somewhere because of a soft skill as you wait for an opportunity in what you learned in your second degree. I think it pays that way. And please, lastly, I wish to impress it upon you employer organizations that the government, I know, through the Public Service Commission, offers a platform through the internship program, where we take a number of young people, I think every year. Currently, you saw recently that we have 5,500 young people who are attached in the affordable housing program as interns, and some more are coming in the nearest future. I hope, I know it is one of my mandates as a State Department to coordinate internships, both in public and private sector. So we will definitely extend an invitation to you so that we can come and talk on how you guys, on top of what you're already doing, we can have a system that helps young people also get a space to do internships in your organizations. I believe that will go a long way in giving them the necessary indispensable experience, which sometimes is asked by you some guys. So please be the solution now in this case. Offer the solution before we present the challenge. I believe that way, like I've said, we shall shorten the gap between learning and learning, between learning and earning. Yeah, between learning and earning. We shall shorten the gap between learning and earning so that our young people in the nearest future can be able to live a good life. I once again want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, just remain on the stage. I'd love to welcome the CEO together with Senator and the board of directors for SHOFCO who are present. Just join them on the stage for some gifting and photo sessions.
Thank you so much, the PS and the Senator, Mr. Kennedy Odede, and all the partners who are in the room. We will be transitioning to the server room upstairs for the second session, which will be very quick. Asanteni sana for being very attentive through the morning session. And as we are transitioning up, please make sure to be able to check out our exhibitioning that is right on your way up. So I request we transition to server room. Ensure not to leave your phones behind, your package behind. Please carry everything you came with. The QR code for the program is right on the screen. Please go ahead to scan it out as you go up to be able to understand what time we shall be wrapping up. And we shall be rolling out a video as we step out. I know we've talked around. We've highly talked about skills
talent, and the different engagements the young people have been engaged in. So screen will just keep rolling as we exit out. Tafadhali tuharakishe kidogo ndio tuweze tukaokoa muda as we are going up to the server room.